Okay, you guys in for the long haul today, right? We got something special for you. We're going to do an interview right now with Tim Austin, the drummer for the Damn Right Blues Band. Give it up for one time, ladies and gentlemen. Make him feel good. So, Tim.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been playing with Buddy?
It'd be 11 years in June.
11 years. That's a long time, man.
Yeah. Like yesterday, but 11 years. Yeah.
How'd you get started with that?
With Buddy?
Yeah.
His brother Philip got me the gig. He
Yeah.
got me, Marty, and Rick at the same time. He told Buddy, don't look for nobody, I got what you need. So he didn't look.
Okay.
So.
Was there like an audition or anything, or you just?
No, what happened was we play a club in out in Harvey called Larry's. Me and Rick played there every Monday. And so Rick was playing with the Dells, and I was playing with Mavis Staples. So we both was out of town. So Buddy came down to the club, and the manager said, those not the guys you want to see. So he came back, and me and Rick was playing, and he checked us out, and he didn't say nothing. He just got up and left. So me and Rick say, well, we didn't get that gig. So he came back third time.
Okay.
And after we played, he said, what you doing Wednesday? And said nothing. He said, okay, we got rehearsal 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. And the rest is history. We only had one rehearsal, and that was it. We never rehearsed no more after that. And the only thing we did on the rehearsal was the beginnings of each song that he just wanted to see what we knew. And by when whatever he did, we knew it. So he said, okay. And that was it. And the rest is history. Here we are.
Now, that's interesting you bring up the beginnings there. Like, as the drummer, you are often the one who is cueing the rest of the band, like what's about to happen, right? People don't realize this, but you're back here kind of, making people know what's about to go on.
Yeah, well, I've always told, this is my theory when it comes to a drummer. A drummer's like a back catcher. And if you notice, he's always communicating with the pitcher, which is Buddy. So before Buddy gives a signal, by me knowing Buddy's body language, I can cue the band of what's happening. So that's the same thing, when a pitcher's giving signals and the back catcher's doing this and that, then they agree.
Yeah.
Then there we go. So.
Can you give us an example of something you would play, like, one of those things that he'll cue you for and you just know to take it in with that?
Well, what he usually do, because you notice Buddy don't have what they call a set list. He don't write nothing down. He go off of the audience of what he feels. So if he vibe off of that. So he may be standing there and he'll walk and he'll just say, what's that song he always do? What is this? Well, that one too. But he would say, stepping in.
Okay, yeah.
And he'll say it, but sometimes I don't hear him, sometimes I do. But when he says stepping in, I automatically know it's. And the band knows what that means. So we just go right into it, And then if he say, like the Albert King song, he'll just say Albert. He don't say Albert King, he'll just say Albert. I know what it means. They know what it is, But this is something that we never rehearsed. It's just over the years, we just vibed off each other. So that's how all that happened. So, when you see me doing stuff with Buddy, that's one of the great things about working with him. We don't know what he's going to do. So when you all be looking shocked, we be shocked too. Because we don't know what he's going to do. He is not lying when he say he don't rehearse us. He do not. He would do some stuff we ain't never heard in our lives. All he'll do is say D. And if he say D, he'll just hit the notes, what he want, and then we just follow him. That's Buddy. So you never see the same show. You might hear the same song, but he never plays it the same. Ever. Never, ever.
Is that challenging? Is that like a...
For other musicians, not
Okay.
not these
All
guys.
right, all right.
Everybody can't play behind Buddy. Trust me. We watch when he set in with other bands, and cats be missing stuff. We like, oh, how they miss that? You know.
Yeah.
But that's what happens, you know. Everybody can't do it because you got to watch Buddy because you really don't know what he's going to do because like he said, he don't know what he's going to do. So you got to be paying attention. You know, that's why you always see me doing like this, you know, because I don't know, because Buddy will stop a song in the middle of a verse. He just stop, you know, and that's one of the things that is really cool. And the only reason why I could read Buddy so well, because coming up, I used to play behind singing groups, you know, and you had to catch all their choreography. So I learned to read body language with entertainers, you know.
When you say singing groups, what you talking about?
Like doo-wop groups.
Okay.
You know, they do all this choreography and you gotta pow, pow, and catch all this stuff. So over the years, I just took that to when I play behind anybody, first thing I started doing when I work behind them, I started watching how they move, what they signals me, you know. When Buddy do this, his hand like this, he want it down. And when he do like this, he really want to feel it. He don't even really want to hear. He just want to feel it when he balled his fists up. I mean, he wanted super quiet, you know. But I learned that he didn't tell us that. We just figured it out, you know. So we knew it meant something with low. We knew that much. So we kind of figured it out, you know. And so that's what's happening when you see us and he doing things, or he, you know, like I done played with him enough now, because I could kind of feel where he's finna go before he even get there. That's how I can cue the band when we're gonna stop or how we're gonna go into something. Because I didn't learn his body language so well that he could do something. And for some reason it just works out where I can stop it or whatever the case may be because I, you know, done watched him so much, you know.
Now he's a very dynamic performer, you know, he'll get real loud with it and he'll get real quiet with it, you know. Is that challenging, you know, kind of being able to break it down and keep it low when you keep it all together?
No, not now. I'll tell you the story behind that. When I got with the Staple Singers, I was 19. And my first rehearsal with the Staple Singers, I went to the rehearsal, learned all the pop staple stuff, played it to the T, and I played it perfect. So Pops told Mavis, said, Mavis, turn the PA system on. So I'm thinking we finna leave. But he said, okay, Timmy, now I want you to play exactly what you played, but I want to hear Mavis' voice. So we didn't have no PA. So I had to learn then how to play soft, but with the same tempo, the same attitude. That's how I learned how to play that soft. So when I got with Buddy, it was like no problem for me because I've been
used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it, you know. But everybody can't do that. Because a lot of drummers, you tell them to play soft, they either speed up or they slow down. Trust me, I be listening. People don't think I do.
Now, do you have any words of wisdom for other drummers out there? You know, you've got a lot of experience, obviously.
Yeah, you know, let me tell you the first thing with a drummer, that they should always, 3 things. 1, have some decent equipment. They ain't got to be the top of the line. And some good drum heads. You got the raggedest drums on the planet, get some good drum heads. 2, have a ride. Have a vehicle to get to where you're going. And 3, have a telephone and answer it. You know, you get these drummers, don't get no gigs, you don't answer your phone. It's that simple, that's all. You know, and when you go to the gig, play the gig. Don't go to the gig trying to play jazz fusion on a blues hit. Don't do that. Don't try to play some swing at 100 miles an hour and you're doing a slow blues. If it's a shuffle, play the shuffle. That's it. And then also, learn the song. Go back to the basic and learn the original song. You know, that helps a lot. It'll make your job a lot easier if you just learn the song. And don't disrespect that pocket. Because if you turn on your radio when you leave here today, and I don't care what station you flick, and you don't believe me, try it tonight. Just click any station, you will not hear the drummer doing a bunch of crap. All you're going to hear is this. Or what you're going to hear all night. You can go to a Mexican station, a Latin station, whatever. It's going to be a pocket. They ain't going to hear all this. You ain't going to hear all that. Not on the radio, unless you listen to jazz fusion. And y'all don't listen to jazz fusion. I don't. Some of you. Do you? Anybody? See, there we go. You know, but that's the whole thing. You know, it's play the pocket. You play the pocket, you're going to work.
Now, Tim, do you stick to blues gigs? Is that kind of your main thing, or?
That's what's paying, so I'm sticking. No, well, I grew up in my house. I got challenged by my brother, my mom, and by my father. And the challenges was my father was a jazz man. So I had to learn Count Basie and Duke Ellington and all them cats. Mm-hmm. So when I was a kid, he said, "Can you play this?" And I had the drums set up in the front room. By the time he come home from work, I have it. Then my brother, my oldest brother, was a hippie, you know. So he was into Janis Joplin, Hendrix, you know, Grateful Dead. "Can you play this?" So now I got to bang these drums to prove to him that I could play hard rock. Okay. And then I had my other brother and sister, they was in the Motown. So I had to learn, I know you want to, I had to learn the Motown stuff. Yeah. And then me, James Brown. That was me. So okay. I had all of that going on, and those was the challenges. So that's why me, I could kind of play about anything, you know, polka, whatever. I was in a polka band, and believe me, I'm telling you.
Yeah, when was that? When were you playing in a polka band?
Man, listen, I'm going to tell you how it happened. A cat called me up and said, "Hey, man, I got a gig for you, and it's a polka gig." So I'm thinking gambling, you know. I'm thinking gambling, okay. All right. He said, "The drum's already there. My drummer's sick, can you make it?" And I got to that gig. Them cats had them little funny hats on like this here with the feathers and the green things on with the, and I'm like, I'm the only brother in this whole place. You know, but once I heard what they were doing, once I heard it, I said, "Oh, okay, I can play that." So that's how I did my polka gig. I did that for about 2 months, you know, so. I didn't get fired, just the drummer came back. So, you know, but I learned how to play polka that way. And then with rock, I was in a band called Tiger Eye, and it was heavy metal, bashing, you know, at 100 miles an hour. Oh my God. Anyway, so Buddy ain't loud compared to the Tiger Eye band I was in. Trust me.
Okay.
So that's how I, you know, and did a little bit of everything, you know.
So when did you start playing?
Well, actually, it was a God gift. That's the first thing. I started when I was about, that I could remember, I had to have been about 3 or 4. Wow. And I used to beat on things, you know, around the house. And behind my house on the west side of Chicago was a paint factory. So I would get up every Saturday faithfully about 6:30 in the morning and get the old paint cans, bring them and put them in my backyard, and get the little tree limbs that fell on the ground, and be back there, you know, about, I would have to be about 7 or 8, you know, because I'd sneak out the house when Mama was asleep. And I would, you know, be back there beating, and the neighbors would call my mother and say, "Look, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. That boy out there, where y'all at?" You know, so I was out there beating on paint cans at that time of the morning. And what my mother go do? Bought me an organ. You know, my father said, "Are you serious? Can you see?" So then I used to beat on people's cars with this part of my hand and my knuckles, and it was like, and I would get so good at it, I started hitting it with power, so then they'll become little dents. And she had to pay for paint jobs, so she got it that I wanted to play drums, so she got me some drums, and so here I am. You know, that's how that all happened. Oh, I've been through some things. Yeah.
Now, can you tell us, what's one of the first, I guess it seems like you really just discovered a lot of stuff. What was one of the first things you actually sat down to learn? And you're like, I want to pick this one up.
James Brown. My mother took me in 1964 to see James Brown and Jackie Wilson, and she just knew I was going to go to sleep like most kids would.
Yeah.
I was hooked. I'd never seen nothing like that in my life. James Brown came out. He had 2 drummers, and they never stopped playing. And then Jackie Wilson came out, and all I focused on, I like James and I like Jackie, but I was focused on these shiny drums and these 3 drummers that I seen that night. And so I was, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So James Brown was like the main cat that I listened to, coming up. But like I said, I learned everything from the challenges that was in my house from my family,
Okay, well, can you play us a little bit more of like a James Brown kind of beat? What characterizes that?
But this beat here was every drummer. You wasn't cool in the hood unless you knew this one beat, which is called Cold Sweat. If you didn't know this beat as a drummer growing up, you wasn't considered nothing. James Brown say double up, and then there was another beat that you had to learn by Archie Bell and the Drells called Tighten Up. You had to learn those or you wasn't cool in the hood, trust me. They'd look at you like you crazy, And there was a lot of musicians when I was coming up, on the block, around the corner, all over the place, My first gig I ever did, I played with a friend of mine named Jack Chapman. His dad was named Jim Chapman. And me and Jack, we had been about 9, and the bass player and the drummer got drunk. So his dad, I spent the night at Jack's house, and his dad came down to the house and got us. And this was about, maybe about 11 o'clock at night. Now, we ain't never been in no club. And for the first time, this is the first time I ever seen a naked woman. They hired a stripper, and we had to play behind the stripper. So when you got 2 sticks and a 3rd stick hitting the snare, and my eyes was bucked, and I was like stuck, but I was playing, because we was playing these songs behind this stripper, and oh man, we was excited. I went back to school the next day, and I said, man, that Playboy book y'all got ain't nothing compared to what we seen last night, So I'm just telling you the truth. That's the stuff that I'd seen coming up, and we couldn't be at the bar, we had to always stay in the back. So we got a chance to see the strippers take their clothes off, and they didn't care. We little boys, we trying not to look, but it's kind of hard not to look when you see a lady that just look like God to you, and you like 9, 10 years old. Oh, God, look at that. Oh, anyway, that's again the drums. But that's one of the other stories. I done seen some things, trust me. Been out here a minute,
Well, let's flash forward to the present here for a minute. There's some things, you've got obviously a big year touring with Buddy ahead and everything, but do you have any other projects that you're working on, any things you've got cooking?
Well, this is the start of a project that I'm working on. It's called the Do's and Don'ts on the drums. I'm going to be doing an instructional video on how to end a song, how to play the beginning of a song, what not to do, what do certain signs mean when singers put their hand up, how to break a song down, when to end a song, when not to play over the guitar player when he's soloing, all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to be teaching. It's not no bunch of solo stuff, just basic stuff, because I've seen 1,000 videos out there and I haven't seen that one yet, where it's actually teaching a drummer how to play with the bass player, how to just actually lock something down and just groove, Because that's the key. If you could make the audience do this, you got them. Because see, Marty last night gave me a solo, that second one, and he thought I was going to do all that stuff, but I just kept looking at him like, I got them now. They're doing this. I ain't moving either. So that's what happened last night, see. I didn't move, and it was whatever you want to do, we're going to stay there with you. And a guy came up to me last night and said, could you teach me how to do my head like you was doing yours? So, and they worked.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Marty said, man, you didn't move. I said, I'm telling you, I had him right there. Don't go nowhere. You know how it is when the guy making love to you women, and he just right there. Same thing on the drums. Exact same thing. Don't move. Stop. Don't move. Don't move. And then once you finish, you're like, oh, that's it. Great. You the man. Boom. That's it. Okay. Edit that out for the kids.
Dude, you know we're live right now.
Oh, okay, kids, you all look at HBO. There's nothing under the sun you haven't seen. Nothing.
Yeah.
Probably no more than me, so.
Well,
yeah.
Can you give us an example then of something you think you're going to be putting on that video? One of these like do's or don'ts, something you want to
Yeah. Give you a little. It's like, for instance, when you do say for instance, the guy say he wants to do a doo-wop.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll say, give me like a doo-wop beat, Well, what that beat is boom, 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 boom. Not. No, they don't want all that. They just want. That's it. That's all they want. And that's usually. When they say a doo-wop or a slow blues or ice cream changes. Ice cream changes the same thing. It's the same beat. So that's a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here, Tim. This has been...
And you got this live.
Yeah, that's live. That's in case y'all didn't know. We are live streaming right now on Giggity TV, and we're going to be going live with the show tonight as well. It's going to stay up there, so if you want to go back and check it out later, you can go watch the video tonight. If you have a few too many between now and then, you can't remember what happened.
Right.
You can go back and check it out again.
Right.
Tim, maybe you can give us one last little preview of something they're going to see tonight. Let them know what's about to happen if they catch a cue.
You notice I hit a little harder than most drummers. Most drummers hit like this. They be jiving around. I snap it. I hit it like I mean it, so you be like, he don't sound like the other drummers. I get that all the time, because there's a technique to that, but I can't show you that. I got to show you that on the do's and don'ts, my little tricks.
That was proprietary.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it up one time for Tim Austin, ladies and gentlemen.
All righty. I see you all tonight. Yeah.
All right.
I might sing. Yeah, right. Won't nobody be here. Yes. A who?
A flat tire.
A flat tire? What the hell is, come up here and you tell me what that is. The only flat tire I ever known was one on my car. Is that actually a beat?
That's what I was told.
Oh, somebody lied to you. I ain't never heard that, and I'm 57 years old. Yeah, it must have been before me, you, and a flat tire. What? Can anybody, listen to me now, could anybody give me a concept of what would that sound like on a drum?
I think maybe it just means a rim shot.
Why do you say rim shot? Late? Well, see, I'm not a late drummer, so I'm not the cat. I'm always on the one. So that's why I'm saying the do's and don'ts. That ain't cool to come in late. If you the drummer, you the timekeeper. Why would you want to come in late? If you late, where you think everybody else gonna be? Where everybody else gonna be if I'm late? Thank you. And what you think gonna happen? Don't you think Buddy look at me like, hello? Late. Don't you ever tell nobody about, now I'll give you a rim shot. That's it. But a flat tire? Jesus, I never, I'm going to talk to all these drummers in Chicago and say, man, you ever heard of a flat tire? And I just want to see if any of them, and I know some of the best of them in the Chicago, I've got to ask them, you ever heard of a flat tire beat?
Now They're gonna try
I
and
can't play something I don't know. But if anybody know, I'm telling you, could come in and teach me, and I guarantee you I'll learn it. Anybody? You don't know flat tire? That guy that told you about flat tire, tell him Tim Austin said, well, I don't wait here. Tell him Tim Austin said he's welcome, he can be my guest to come to a Buddy Guy show, and I promise you I'll get him in so he can show me a flat tire beat. Okay? I'm serious. I'm going to give you my info. I'm going to come over to y'all. Keep the cameras rolling. I'm going to give you my info, and you find him. I don't care where we at, because you know we travel the world. So when you find him, say, hey, man, Tim also wants you to show him that flat tire beat. Now, only thing I could think of is he probably caught a flat and just came to the gig. That's about it. But I thank you all for listening to me, and I'm going to work and find that flat tire.
One more time, Tim Austin, everybody.
Got one on me there. Flat tire. Oh, my God.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
Google says it's a jazz inside shuffle.
Who? Okay, did you find it?
Yeah, we found one.
And what it says?
It says a shuffle medley, two-handed jump blues, flat.
Is they talking about this? That's a two-hand shuffle. But the brothers just called it a shuffle. So that must have been a little white cat studying us and put a damn name on it. I'm gonna be real with you. Huh? Am I telling the truth? Odie Payne, all these great black blues drummers was doing that back in the 30s, and then they gonna come up with a name. That's a shuffle. Don't sound like no flat tire to me. Sound like a shuffle.
All right, you heard it here. That's a shuffle. All right.
Thank you. And it's a bunch of them. But that's on the do's and don'ts DVD, because I got about 6 of them that I guarantee you they ain't got on that little dissy thing you just found. Now get ready when I teach you this disc and have my stuff out. I ain't giving it no name. I'm going to show you what they're talking about, some two-handed shuffle. Why they just say a two-hand shuffle? Doesn't that make more sense?
All right.
Isn't it easy to say two-hand shuffle than a flat tire? Nobody in there knew what it. And she going to look it up. And what you found out?
Yeah.
Nothing.
All
Anyway,
right.
I'm leaving. On that note, and piss me off.
All right.
I'm out. I'm Gigi Google done.